So this is what Dracula looked like. Or Vlad Tepes, rather. Painting looks alive. I've never seen anything like it. The painting's getting darker. How strange. I'm starting to understand why Vanbury was fascinated with this portrait. He looks alive, like he's watching us.
You're right. It's gripping. Apart from perhaps Mona Lisa's smile, I've rarely seen such a disturbing expression on a painting. It looks like the varnish is darkening.
Right, I noticed that too. Do you think I shouldn't have removed the tar layer?
No, that can happen when the finishing layer hasn't been exposed to light for a while. I don't think that the painting will darken too much.
The shadow of the dragon.
What did you say?
Nothing special. Vlad Tepes was called Dracula and the Dragon. So I was thinking that if this is really a portrait of him, well, we've literally seen the shadow of the dragon.
That's funny. One of the books I was reading had an excerpt of a poem of the same name. Vlad's younger brother wrote it.
Really? Can I look at it?
Of course. It's on my desk. I'll leave it there for you. But maybe you should put the painting in the storage room. You shouldn't do too much with it on the first day.
Right, I'll do that.
As for me, I'm going home. And I really want to congratulate you. If all of Caniac's paintings are this good, you might have discovered a new Da Vinci.
I don't feel good. I didn't take my medicine because I forget to with the jet lag. The reserve is the perfect place for storing the painting overnight. I should take the call. Metropolitan Museum of Art, Restoration Workshop, Ellen Cross speaking.
Ellen, it's Adam. You're finally back.
Yes. Hello, Adam. I heard you were in New York. Is that right?
Just for a few days. I was afraid I wouldn't catch you. If you're free for dinner this evening, maybe you could tell me about your trip to Turkey.
Well, yes. I do have a few things to do, but sure, why not?
I can pick you up at the museum. In an hour?
Sure. Vlad Basarab III, known as Tepes, the Impaler, was the inspiration for Bram Stoker's Dracula character. But few people know his real story. Tepes was the son of Vlad II, known as Dracul, the dragon. Tepes was the heir to the Wallachian throne. He spent his childhood in Turkey, where Sultan Murad II held both him and his younger brother Radu hostage. It is said that Radu was the Sultan's favorite. Vlad was released in 1448, 14 years before his younger brother. This is probably why Radu the Handsome deeply resented his older brother throughout his whole life. People even say that Radu drove Vlad's beloved wife to suicide. Radu made her think that her husband had died. He gave her the dagger with which she killed herself. The prince never recovered from this tragedy. As legend has it, that was when he plunged into the netherworld. This book has a copy of a letter from Radu. The letter shows the rivalry that pitted these two men against each other. Radu also wrote a poem called The Shadow of the Dragon. It seems that this poem was meant for his brother.
So happy to see you, Ellen.
Me too.
So you ended up finding the portrait? Tell me about it. How did you do that?
It's a long story, and it was in terrible condition. Professor Vanbury had covered it with tar. I'm still cleaning it up, but I'm making headway.
I'm sure that you'll be able to restore it to its original glory.
I hope so, but it looks fragile. The glaze has become slightly darker ever since it's been exposed to the open air.
Do you think the process can be reversed?
I think so, but it'll take some time. Well, if you can keep it a secret, I can show it to you.
Oh yes, I'd love to. I didn't dare ask. Cross my heart. I'll be as silent as the grave.
Good. Let's go then. Attention, please. Adam, please meet Dracula.
Ellen, are you all right? Are you all right? Do you feel better?
Yes. What happened?
You fainted at the museum. Don't you remember? I wanted to call the paramedics, but you said it should be fine. You just wanted to go back home. So I called a taxi, and here we are. Are you sure you don't want me to call for a doctor? Something's wrong.
No, don't worry. I don't need a doctor. You did the right thing. I actually need a drink. I think I have a bottle of wine.
Ellen, I'm not sure it's a good idea. Just look at you. You can hardly stand up.
I'm tired of being reasonable, Adam. Adam? Adam? Are you there? That couldn't have been a dream.
Ellen, I couldn't bring myself to wake you up. I'm going back to London this morning, but I'll call you very soon. Take care of yourself. Lots of love, Adam.
So it wasn't a dream, even though he did vanish into thin air pretty quickly. I should take advantage of this to finish restoring the portrait. Who knows, maybe I'll take a few days off in Europe. Well, it's not much, but it could keep me from... I'll have to use my card to enter. There hasn't been a break-in. There must be an explanation. This video camera automatically turns on whenever anyone comes into the storage room. I'll have to look at the video to understand what could have happened. Believe it! How could he have done that to me? If someone sees this recording, they'll think I'm his accomplice. I really have to find Adam and recover the portrait before anyone notices it's missing. Jerry won't be back till tomorrow, so there's a chance I won't have to finish off my days in prison.
Jerry Borofsky's answering machine. Please leave me a message. I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Jerry, it's Marlene from the library. I'm worried. After your call yesterday afternoon, I followed up on your research request. I sent you a copy of the original parchment of the poem. A few hours later, a government official came to see me. I couldn't make out which department he was from, but as we both know, some documents are under surveillance. He wanted to know why I had looked up these documents. He looked shady, so I didn't mention you to him. I told him I was just curious. But I get the impression that he won't stop there. If he's really who he says he is, he'll realize pretty soon that I lied to him. I might be paranoid, but this guy really worried me. Be careful.
What on earth is happening here? The portrait was stolen? A government official is interested in a poem from several centuries ago? I hope that Jerry won't be upset with me, but I've got to take a look at this document. Anyway, I really have nothing to lose now. This isn't Jerry's mailbox.
Jerry, you owe me dinner. I had to move mountains to find the poem. The Shadow of the Dragon doesn't show up in any document in our library, but the Order of the Dragon often comes up. It's a brotherhood of aristocrats that the famous Vlad Tepes supposedly belonged to. But no shadow of a shadow in our records, if I may say so. However, I actually did find it in the end, in the Library of Congress database. It was scanned recently. This poem is really nothing special. To tell you the truth, it reads more like a quest for a treasure than like real literature. The poem doesn't revolve around any idea or story. It seems to show the various stages of an initiation journey to find the Shadow of the Dragon's hiding place. Who knows? Maybe the little brother wanted to set up his own secret order. See you soon. Marlene.
If I don't find the painting quickly, I might end up in prison. There might be a connection between the Dracula portrait and the poem. A few months ago, Jerry gave me a copy of the database prototype he wanted to fine-tune for the museum. If I want to use it to decipher Radu's verses, it's now or never. It's all about choosing the right keywords. Maybe I should Yerebatan, the Basilica Cistern of Istanbul. That's the engulfed basilica that Radu's poem talks about. If Marlene's hypothesis turns out to be right, a secret order called the Shadow of the Dragon has hidden its headquarters there.
You should have already left your place, Ellen.
I beg your pardon?
You're not safe. Your friend Jerry was found dead in his apartment.
What?
They're following you, and I'm not talking about the police.
But who the heck are you?
Let's say I'm a friend of a friend. Apparently you've done excellent work on his portrait. We know that it slipped through your fingers, but if you recover it and bring it to him, he'll be most grateful.
You're nuts!
It is fascinating, isn't it? But believe me, the model is even more fascinating.
You mean Dracula?
You shouldn't waste your time asking pointless questions. I've left a package in front of your door. Take it, and don't stick around.
But where on earth do you want me to go?
Follow your instinct, Ellen. I'm sure that you'll find your way.
I need to contact Jerry. It can't be true. I really need to know that Jerry's fine. I really need to know that Jerry's fine. I really need to know that Jerry's fine.
Hello?
Hello, Jerry. It's Ellen.
Hello. Mr. Borowski won't be able to speak with you.
Who are you?
The New York police. I have really sad news for you, Ms.
Cross. Ellen Cross. What are you talking about? How's Jerry doing?
Mr. Borowski has passed away. I'm sorry, Mrs. Cross.
I can't believe it. What happened to him?
I can't speak to you on the phone, but I'd like to meet you. I'll be expecting you at the police station tomorrow morning.
The woman who called must have been right. If Jerry died because of this stupid poem, I'm definitely in danger. I must go to Istanbul and figure out what the Basilica Cistern is hiding that's so valuable.
Manhattan Library. Hello?
Hello, I'd like to speak to Marlene, please.
Who's speaking?
It's personal.
Sorry, Marlene's not here today, but leave me your name and I'll tell her you called.
Do you know why she's not there?
She's on vacation, but you still haven't told me who you...
This guy was way too interested in finding out who I am. Oh my God, I hope that Marlene's all right. Forged ID. just what I needed to leave the country without attracting attention. How did this woman know that I could have needed papers? And how did she get a hold of my photo? Either I have a guardian angel or someone's just using me. Hello, is the cistern still open to visitors?
Absolutely. It will be closing in less than an hour. Some sections are under construction and can't be visited, so entrance is free.
Can we see the Gorgons?
Unfortunately, you can't. That's why you don't have to pay. You won't be able to see the famous Peacock Eye Column up close either.
Oh, but since the place is empty, could you make an exception?
Sorry, miss. The same rules apply to everyone. Do enjoy your visit.
Keys to the Basilica Cistern. The map shows only 2 Gorgon sculptures, but Radu's poem mentions 3 of them. The Peacock Eye Column should be there. Telephone numbers for the site. I won't leave and the Peacock Eye Column should be just behind this gate. The waiter left without picking up the bill. Perhaps the tip. The waiter left without picking up the bill. The waiter left without picking up the bill. Perhaps the tip. I shouldn't be making phone. I shouldn't be. The waiter left. The waiter left without picking up the bill. Perhaps the tip. Telephone numbers for the site. Telephone numbers for the site. The waiter left without picking up the bill. Perhaps the tip. The waiter left without picking up the bill, and perhaps the tip.